Hello. Hello, folks. How are you? Welcome to the channel. My name's Tom. This is the INFJ Experience, and I just want to talk about a few things that are on my mind today. As you know, this is the INFJ Experience, and this is we cover basically the personality type, the INFJ. Now, I have some thoughts pertaining to this type, our type. And sometimes I wonder that there's an allure somehow to, let's say, reclusiveness in the INFJ. I mean, we're introverts anyway. The INFJ are introverted, intuitive, so we're always in our head. Of course, we always have a reaching part of our life. Now, through the course of the life of an INFJ, I mean, there's some ups and downs, as we've described many times on this channel. Just some of the highs and lows through the course of the lifetime with INFJs. Heartbreaks, depression, loneliness, sadness, lots of things, but also discoveries. Now, I'm not going to just focus on all the negatives. Now, there's some wonderful discoveries, internal discoveries, spiritual, fulfilling discoveries within the mind and soul of the INFJ that are exclusive to them, exclusive to their unique solitude. We go through these brilliant, wonderful insights, but they are balanced with our bouts of loneliness and sadnesses, as I've said before. Kind of the double-edged sword, like that pro and the con of this personality. For all these wonderful attributes we have over here, we have all these drawbacks over here that just keep us isolated, keep us kind of pent up, keep us in this cell, in a sense, almost like a prisoner in our own mind. In a way, that's what it feels like. Because you want to break out sometimes. You want to be able to just explore and break out of the confines of your mind, the confines of your thoughts. But something holds you back, and it's just you. It's yourself. It's your isolation. It's what it is that holds you back. It's something that keeps you from going there. Well, a lot of it is, we get drained with people. We want to break out. We think, let's get out there and live our life. Yet, when you start living your life and start exploring other things, getting people involved in your life, maybe a relationship, you realize how draining it is and how stifling it is to have people in your life. Now, extroverted types, this is what they do. I mean, it looks like that's the norm. And we're built in a culture that just says, if you're not with your friends, if you're not with your family, if you're not with everybody in general, then somehow you don't fit in. You're a failure. You're an oddball. You got a few screws loose if you're always alone. You're just. But what does that say to somebody that is geared that way? That is just that way. Somebody who's tried most of their life to be normal in the figurative sense. Well, it makes you wonder. It comes to a point where you spend so long trying to find some kind of happiness and fulfillment, realizing that it's not from anybody. It's not from anything out there. You look further inward, you find it. Now, I guess my point of this whole thing is that I'm thinking that, is there a certain allure to reclusion in the INFJ? Are we geared this way to go into a reclusive point? I mean, yes, we go into our bunker zones. We feel isolated most of our life. But at some point, it becomes almost addictive, where we know no other life. There's no other way to describe it other than just that's how you are. And I've talked to so many INFJs on this channel, and not only this channel, but also others that are from other blogs. And I've heard other stories, INFJs, and I think they go through the bouts of reclusion. And some of them seem to be perfectly content that way. Maybe getting their house way out in the country somewhere where there's nobody else around, and they live out their life. And they seem happy that way. It's like as far away from the noise and the energies of other people, not absorbing them in their lives, is actually it's a pleasant life. But I want to ask something. Is it healthy? Is it in the long run healthy? But I guess part of this, asking this question to begin with, is it only healthy because we've been socially conditioned to believe that it's healthy to be that way, that we need to be in a group? Because some will argue that, we're a social animal. We're a social being. And we rely on each other. And we're supposed to be in a community. And we're supposed to be helping each other and all that. It all sounds good on paper. But part of it is not everybody's geared that way. People, we've tried that. Not everybody is. And you can't be forced into that. And if this just brings you more anxiety, more chaos, more angst in your life, being too close, having to deal with people that drain you, having to deal with other individuals that just take your energies away. And not everybody, you can't find people. You can't find people that align with you completely. You're not going to do that. You're never going to quite find that. But I guess my answer to that is, I think as long as you're healthy, as long as you have sound mind, as long as you're able to withstand yourself, as long as you're able to maintain yourself, why wouldn't it be healthy? As long as you have a good sound mind, as long as your thoughts are spiritual, as long as you're growing internally. But that leads me to another point. Sometimes, is there a point of stagnation, a point of wasting in your life as well? If you're too reclusive, do you have a point where you are just doing just that? You feel as though you're so alone, so isolated, so away, even though it's alluring and it seems pleasant. It seems like you finally found the peace you've been looking for. But is it really part of your wasting as well? Because then it gets to the point where when you are around people, when you hear small talk, it's almost intolerable. It's like nails to a chalkboard. You can't wait to get away. Go back to your solitude again. See, these are the questions I ask. Is what exactly is our life? What exactly is it supposed to add up to? Now, my audience out there, the people that I've actually found some camaraderie with, and you're out there. I text with you, and in fact, you lighten me up when we go on lives. I got to tell you, people, sometimes that's those are some of the greatest moments I got. It's just going live and just having talks with some of you out there, because I feel like I'm not alone. I feel like we're all in this together in some way. But deep down, it's always a kind of a burning question. In my mind, it is. It's just, as I go through this, is it healthy? I just keep growing older. I grow slower. I grow weaker. But I want to keep my independence. I grow wiser in my mind. When I say weaker, I don't mean mentally. I definitely don't mean that. It's more like my body. So as much as I feel my body and my joints getting old, my mind and my wisdom grows sharper. So I say to myself, how long can I be independent? How long can I keep this up? Am I just kidding myself by thinking I'm happy with this? Should you pursue somebody, find somebody just to fill that relationship? But knowing that they're going to drain you, knowing that you can't just find anybody, you see? Or is it just my societal brainwashing, this cultural brainwashing that says, yeah, you need community? I don't know. I really can't put an answer to that or even a question on that. So people, I sometimes I reach out to you. Sometimes I feel like I reach out to you out there, this audience, this friendship, that group that I've accumulated here on YouTube, and just ask the question. Is there somehow I mean, if you're all going through the same thing, for one, and I know that I've talked to some of you, and you have similar situations, because a lot of you were about my age. You're all about my age. We're all the Gen Xer types, as I've talked about before, and some of you are older than me. Maybe you're baby boomers that are already retired, but we're all pushing that retirement age. But I guess part of it is it healthy? There are monks that go high up in the mountains into these monasteries, and they spend years alone, deliberately finding spiritual fulfillment, finding some kind of peace within themselves. So the only way to find true peace within yourself is isolation, is true solitude, is reclusiveness. But do they do it temporarily? Do they eventually come out of that? Or do they get so peaceful they don't need to come out of it? And they just stay that way. And they just rely on the monastery to basically be their whole thing. You know, relying on what, donations from outside people? I mean, sometimes maybe these monks, maybe they make little things, they weave blankets, maybe they make jam. They do little things to keep the monastery funded, keep the heat on, whatever they might do. They just spend there. So it makes you wonder. It's like, yeah, but they prefer just to be alone, and they spend months, weeks, whatever, not talking to each other deliberately. And that's how they find their peace. That's part of what it is. Funny thing is, that's what the INFJ is. I mean, we're all geared that way. INFJs are just geared to be loners. As you know, that's just part of their whole makeup. They're geared that way. And makes you wonder, though. Are they all just set up that way? Are we just set up that way to be the monk type? Like we go into these monk zones. We don't have to go to a monastery to find it. We don't do it that way. We just kind of find it in our own life. You know, just get our own backyard. Maybe find a place to live that's away from people. And we live it that way. But we found peace. It's like that's our own monastery. It's our life, our own inside. Our own introverted intuition is our own built-in monastery in some ways. And we just got to get just enough far away from people to find it. But that's the way. Are we geared that way? But my question is that all healthy for us? I guess so long as you're functioning, as long as you're able to feed yourself, as long as you're not sitting here with thoughts of unaliving yourself all the time. Literally, I mean, as long as you're not doing that, as long as you're not conspiring, having crazy, toxic thoughts, as long as we're not, you know what I mean? They're thinking, awful things, plotting evil, destructive things. I mean, whatever it might be. As long as you're not doing that, as long as you're peaceful, as long as you're keeping to yourself and you're eating well, maybe you're exercising, you're stretching out, you're just taking care of yourself, and you're living well, then yeah, I guess it is healthy. How could it not be? How could it not be? And as long as you're growing wise, I mean, I think part of our whole life is to find some kind of peace, some kind of salvation. Are you finding salvation? I guess as long as that's a healthy thing. But I think the only other thing that I think you need to find is an outlet in some way. There has to be at least a glimmer of an outlet in your life where you're at least pointing the way. You're guiding somebody in some way. You're at least pointing a finger and saying, this is where I'm going. This is what I do in my life. But at the same time, you're at least venting somewhat. And you're at least maybe helping to guide somebody somewhere out there as to where you're going. So I guess this is part of what I'm doing right now. Me just talking on this camera here is my way of doing that. It's all I really got. Yeah. So, that's all you got. I think that's part of what it is. It's that need for purpose. You have to have a need for purpose. I mean, somehow just taking care of yourself, surviving on your own, filling yourself with your own grace. It can be enriching, but at some point you have to give back. It's like you have to shine back It's like a mirror must reflect back in order to give back. I mean, a tree by itself that bears fruit, if the fruit just falls off the tree and rots in the ground and doesn't feed anything other than, well, it does feed the worms of the ground, maybe. It feeds something. But my point is, if you're bearing good fruit, that fruit was meant to be consumed in a way. A good tree bears good fruit. Even the Lord said that. I think at some point it has to become healthy when you're at least giving back. You need to at least breathe out. When you inhale that oxygen, you got to exhale. I mean, it's kind of part of the circle of life. When you discover an internal grace, an internal compass that's working for you, it's up to us to kind of, reflect it back outward. See, I'm kind of answering my own questions in a way. So sometimes I have to just hear myself talk sometime. Yeah. Well, people, that's all. I just wanted to just vent a little bit. Sometimes I think that's what this channel is. I mean, sometimes we just need to know that we can communicate. This is what it's all about. We are a sanctuary here. As I said before, this channel, for what it is like our sanctuary. It's a place to go where we hear each other talk. We can text and let us know that we're not completely alone in this world. That's basically what we do here. So that's what I do sometimes. Well, people, thank you so much. I'm sure that I could keep rambling on for the next hour or so, but I don't want to do that. I mean, I'll save those ramblings for another video. Maybe one of my shorts. I will. But I do want to thank you all for being out there. Now, if anybody's out there that is new to my channel and you like what you hear and you kind of want to subscribe, maybe give a thumbs up. If you're new, join on board. Like I said, we're a community here, a sanctuary. Now, sometimes I'm not as somber as this. Sometimes if you check out some of my other videos, I got a little bit more to say. This is just one of my somber moments where I'm really in deep contemplation about the course of my life. And as INFJs, we go through this all the time. These are all part of our life. Honestly, I just put the recording on right now and says, okay, what am I going to talk about? There you go. This came out. This just came out of me. So people, if you enjoy this content, please subscribe to the channel and give me the thumbs up and add some comments if you like this, okay? And share this video, even though it kind of rambled on a little bit. Maybe there's some good parts about this video you might like. I'm sure I'm going to cut it up a little bit, edit it down a little bit. And if you do like this, I want to let you see, maybe you might want to watch this video or this one over here and subscribe. I think that's up here. Maybe it's over there, Okay, I'm sure these things are up there. But but anyway, let's keep it going. Until the next time, Until the next time, people, when I have something to say, have a wonderful rest of your day. Until then, thank you.